All right, good day. Today we're going into a deeper dive of layer masks. So last week we got into layer masks, learned how layer masks can hide and conceal layers, where the layer mask creates a thumbnail that allows us to paint on it to punch through that layer, where we paint the color black to reveal and the color white to conceal. So today we're going a little deeper into that, just giving you another example of how you can use a layer mask. Today we're using three images. We have Hotel Day, Hotel Night, and then of course we have the Milky Way. Now if you look at Hotel Day and Hotel Night, you can see that the images are both pretty much the same. The only difference is that the time of day in which the picture was taken. So obviously the day was taken at day and night was taken at night, but they're the same image. If you're trying to create the same effect yourself, you need to make sure that you take into consideration that the image that's taken is using the same focal length, the same distance or location in which the image was taken. The only thing that changes is the time of day. All right, so let's get into it. So with Hotel Day, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use Hotel Day as our area of creation, if you will. So this is where we're going to create our effect or image. And we're going to bring in Hotel Night. So if you remember from last week with the monkey and Chris Pratt, we click on the layer that we are trying to bring in. We drag that mouse over to Hotel Day tab. And then we continue to hold that mouse click and drag over the image. And then we release the mouse, placing it on top of our canvas. Now, obviously, the Hotel Night image is not lined up, so we need to go to our Move tool, shortcut V. And you'll see that we get the little pink guidelines letting us know where it is. And when we get a little crosshair there, you can see that we've aligned both left, right, top, bottom, and center. We can go ahead and release our mouse. Now we do want to manage our layers, so I'm going to go and come over here in my layers panel, and I'm going to name layer 1 night, and I'll name the background layer day, and there we go. Now we're going to create the layer mask on the night layer. So if you remember from last week, to create a layer mask, not going to work for me today, is it? There we go. Bear with me here, things are a little slow. Down here at the bottom, where we have the square and the circle, this is our layer mask. So in our layers panel, we're going to go ahead and click on that layer mask. And that's going to create our layer mask. So if you're following along with me, you should have, things are working slow, there we go. You should have in your layers panel 2 layers. We have our night, our day, which we've renamed. We've added a layer mask to the night layer. And now we're ready to go ahead and start painting on that layer, the color black, using the brush tool. There we go. So I'll make my brush a little bigger using the bracket. There you go. So just for starters, just to kind of show you what we did from last week, this is what we did with the Chris Pratt, just a different type of edit. So if I wanted to get more exact with this, I could certainly use my selection tools to kind of help me do a little bit better of brushing in here. So for example, there's my edit tool. I can go to my brush tool. Now I can get a little bit closer in there by selecting that area. So, but for purpose of time, I think this is good enough. Now I do want to bring in the Milky Way. So I'm going to go ahead and come into the Milky Way image, grab the background there, drag it over to my Hotel Day tab, and again, right on top of the image. This looks good. If I zoom out and Control T for the free transform tool, I can see this is a rather large graphic, so I can move this around if I need to. But that looks good right there. Hit enter. And I do want to drag this down to the bottom. And we'll call this Milky Way. Now from here, I want to add a layer mask to day. And I'm going to go ahead and again brush in here. So let me zoom back in. Back out just a little bit. So here I want to just create the illusion of this night sky in the reflection water. So take my brush down just a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and paint in that area. And what you'll notice if you're watching my layers panel there, I have created the mask, but I'm not seeing the Milky Way. Right? So if you're looking at my layers panel, you'll see that I've painted in there so that I can see there, but if you'll notice, the white is concealing that part. So I need to come back up to night, thumbnail for that layer mask, and then again paint in that area. Get this a little bit better. All right, so there we go. So just kind of wanted to have you guys keep in mind, when you're using multiple layer masks, you need to think about what's being visible and what's not. And obviously, if you look at your thumbnails for your layer masks, this will help you figure out what you need to do from there. Now, obviously, I could have easily just moved the Milky Way up, but then, of course, that changes the image entirely. In the upcoming projects, you guys will have to choose how you do your edits, but just wanted to provide you guys another example and an opportunity to practice and play with creating layer masks.